Hey guys, this is Jeremy with CarShare Pro. We created this calculator template for tracking multiple vehicles across every month. So this spreadsheet will help you look at each vehicle's profitability as well as the profitability of your business in general. So let's get into it. First of all, up in the top right-hand corner, let's make sure you're signed in. So go up to that top right-hand corner and sign in as yourself. Next, you can go over here to File, Make a Copy. That will pop up a dialog box, click Save. That will save a copy of this template in your Google Drive. Until you do that, you will not be able to edit this. So go ahead and get that done. While you're doing that, some things to keep in mind. Rule 3 here is that any of these yellow cells can be edited by you. Anything else is calculating automatically, so do not overtype on anything that's not yellow. So what do we got here? We have the year 2023. We have all of the months. We have some vehicles right here. We have what's called our gross profit. This whole first section right here, this all pulls off of each vehicle's individual tab. So if you go down here to the bottom, we see Ford Bronco, Kia Rio, BMW i8, Monster Truck, Vehicle 5. It's these vehicles right here. So let's click on the Bronco, for example, since that's the first one. That number, 1228, is pulling off the bottom of the Bronco sheet. So it's that number right here. So what do we have on the Bronco sheet? We have the name of our vehicle. You can change this right here. If you change this right here, it will change the name right there. So again, these aren't yellow, so don't change these. But this one is yellow, you can change it. So in here, you'll put in all of the payments for this month that you received from Turo. So for example, you can put in each individual payment, or if you know how much you made in the month, you can just put in one payment. It doesn't matter. It's just adding them up here as a courtesy if you'd rather do it that way. Otherwise, you can just put in one payment if you know how much you made in that month for this vehicle. Below that, we have a section for what are called costs of goods sold. These are costs that are directly attributable to this specific vehicle. So these are things like car washes on this vehicle. These are things like the insurance on this vehicle. These are things like the car payment on this vehicle. So these aren't expenses that you're going to charge to your business in general. These are for this exact vehicle. One note on the car payment here. When you do your taxes, your CPA will break this out into the interest portion of the payment. And then the rest of the what you would see to be the principal will be covered as a depreciation expense. So that's not a true accurate number there for what you put in, but what you put in will be close enough. So for now, just put in your car payment in here, and then at the end of the year, your CPA will help you get an accurate number in there. So for now, plug that in there. The rest of these, again, are just expenses directly attributable to this exact vehicle. Once you've got all those in there, it'll add them up, and then this will calculate your gross profit on this exact vehicle. Below that, the ROI on this exact vehicle. So your gross profit number is going to roll over onto this sheet and pop up right here. So as you fill out all of these tabs, you're going to fill out the gross profit numbers for all these vehicles. This spreadsheet is going to add them up for you and tell you what your profit was for that month on the vehicles. But we're not done yet. The next thing you got to look at is, what did it cost you to run your business? We already know what it costs to run each of the cars, but what about the business as a whole? What about your electric bill? What about your office rent? What about your cell phone bill if you use your phone for business? What about your property insurance? What about repairs to the facilities? Things like that. So these are costs that are called operating expenses because they're just the cost of operating your business, not for selling your product. The costs for selling our product are already accounted for in each of these tabs, right? And we already did that after on these tabs, which is what gave us this number right here. So right now we're just concerned with the operating expenses. So you have your rent, facility repairs, some salaries if you got some payroll, whatever you got going on for your exact business. For this month, our business cost $6,345. So we deduct that from the profit that the vehicles made for us. And that puts us with $6,900 in operating income. But you're not done yet. So right here at the bottom, you might have some interest on your loans if you took out a loan on to start your business, or if you bought your office space, maybe you have a loan on that. Your interest expense will go in here. If you don't know what that is, I would just leave it blank and let your CPA either put that in for you or give you guidance on what that number should be. And last but not least, we've got to give Uncle Sam his cut. So, you made $6,900, but you're going to owe some tax on that number. So, I usually budget in around 25%. That seems to be a good number for me. You want to budget higher than you think it's going to be, just so you have a little bit of money to play with in case it does come in a little high. So in this example, my sheet is calculating that it'll cost us $1,600 in tax expense. So our actual net income, after taking out all the expenses from the cars, the cost of goods sold, after taking out our operating expenses, these are the costs to run our business, all of these guys right here, and taking out our interest and tax, we now know what our actual net income is because we have accounted for all of the random expenses in our business. So as you go through the year, just update each of these tabs with each vehicle's earnings, and they will just go populating right here across the top. Your operating expenses don't typically vary very much per month. Your utilities and things might go up and down a little bit, but like rent is fixed. Some of these are going to, for the most part, kind of stay consistent. So at the end of the year, you should have a pretty good idea for your profitability and for your potential tax liability. So I hope the sheet's helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.